Now let's discuss correlation. As we know, again, come back to the idea of descriptive statistics. We've studied two different variables, educational level and income. We've studied them using the descriptive statistics, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and all of that. You know the basic descriptive data regarding your small group. Now you want to test whether there is a relationship between two variables rather than just studying them individually. That is where correlation comes to help. Now, what actually are we testing? Education level and income. You always remember this term, correlation. Another term that is embedded within that is covariance. The idea is that variance means change. Do these two variables change together? Change as in increase or decrease together. One increases, other increases. One decreases, other decreases. This is positive correlation. This is positive correlation. The opposite can also be true. One increases, other decreases. So there can be a negative correlation. There can be a positive correlation between two items. So the first thing about the relationship between two variables is the direction. Which way do they move? Do they increase together? Do they decrease together? Or one increases, other decreases? The direction. The other thing is the degree or how strong is the relationship. There can be a relationship, right? A positive relationship, a negative relationship between variables, but then that might not be very significant. Only weak correlation. Or is there a proper strong correlation in terms of numbers? Now, what is that number? I call it, not I call it, let's call it the correlation coefficient. Using math, I am not discussing the equation and all here, I'm just giving you the concept. You get something called as R, the correlation coefficient. It now puts this relationship into a number. That number can be 0 and 1. Now, take it as a spectrum, -1, +1. Two extremes, or there can be 0 in the middle, no relationship. So there can be a perfect positive correlation +1, perfect negative correlation -1, or there can be no relationship. Now ideally you will never get perfect correlation, but you can get a strong correlation. You can get a strong correlation. 0.8, anything above 0.7, let's call it a strong correlation. So minus 0.7 is a strong negative correlation. Just plus 0.7. Normal 0.7 is a strong positive correlation. So anything above 7, let's call it a strong correlation. Anything above 5 or 6, anything above 5, call it a moderate correlation. And anything below 5, let's call it a weak correlation. So this is how you interpret that number. See, positive correlation, two variables, education and income, they increase together. Two variables, negative correlation, two variables, stress and sleep, they decrease together. There can be no correlation. This, if you take your data and you draw a graph, you will get this pattern very easily. Now, in this day and age, you don't have to do it on your own. The computer will do it for you. So I hope you understand. So correlation in that way is a statistical technique which is used to measure both the degree and the direction of relationship between two variables. That is one good definition that you can learn. Now, one important caveat, one important condition that is there is correlation does not mean causation. Always remember, just because two things move together, change together, occur together, does not mean that one actively leads to the other. That is not implied here. Now, in social work, this is all the more important, just more than our mean median mode. This is where, so see, you as an NGO, you as the government, you want to run certain projects for poor, for people, for the country as a whole. What how how do you make those decisions? What are those decisions based on? Is it just because I like to spend money on this thing I will? No, you study the situation properly, you take proper data and you do these tests to check whether there is a proper relationship between things. And if there is a relationship between these things, then you, based on that, you come up with evidence-based solutions to certain problems. That is where it is important for us social workers. So, as I said, and in general, what is the motto of statistics? It helps us to use this to find patterns from random data. And using those patterns, we can make informed decisions, not just some random decisions. I hope that was clear regarding correlation. So, to relationship between two variables, two things, never ever forget the degree and the direction of that relationship. Thank you. Next video, we'll discuss regression.